Before I talk about anything that's going to be said in this video, I want y'all to leave a dislike on this video. Mainly because I want to see how responsive y'all are to the channel. I want to know how many people are actually watching this thing, so I kind of know what I'm in for, because I don't think I can continue this channel anymore. I think it's dead, and the reason for that is kind of on me. It is. When I started this channel, this wasn't my first time doing YouTube. There was a previous channel I had, and I was doing the same thing that I do here, just not as good, because I've gotten pretty good at what I do. But when I had to leave the last channel behind for personal reasons, long story short, it was a hard hit for me, in more ways than one. And it's been hitting me hard now, considering I don't think I can continue this channel. Now, am I giving up? No, I'm not giving up. But I think I need to start again. So back to what I was saying. When I started this channel, I was desperate for growth, because I didn't want to start completely from square one. So a part of what I had to do, a part of what I decided to do was pay for YouTube ads to get my videos advertised, so folk would actually find my stuff a little bit faster. I didn't realize exactly what I was paying for at the time. I thought, like, if I go into it, if any of you, I don't know if YouTube still does this. This is probably just because I block ads, but I thought I was paying for like a thumbnail at the side of videos that were like, you know, the ad ones, and folk would like see my videos that way. But instead, what I was paying for was actual YouTube ads that you could skip in 5 seconds, and that wouldn't have bothered me if YouTube wasn't so anal about how a channel grows. Naturally, people are going to skip that within the first 5 seconds because no one wants to watch a YouTube ad. And that was fucking with my analytics and telling YouTube that no one's watching my stuff. A few years ago, it was like I think it was 3 years ago I started this channel. And I'll just get that running, fuck it, give you all something to look at. And I think it was like a couple years ago I decided, yeah, no, I think I'd better stop, because this is probably fucking with my growth, and maybe what I can do is spend some time just growing naturally. I got a comment a few years ago that told me something along the lines of this when I was paying for YouTube ads, because that's how they found my video, and they enjoyed the channel, and I think they stuck around as well. But they advised me not to do YouTube ads because it's better to grow naturally, which I didn't really believe at the time, so I respectfully said, no, the reason I'm doing it is just because I'm trying to get eyes on the channel faster. And while it did kind of do that, it's just, it kills off your analytics, and then it buries you in low quality view. It's annoying that views aren't just views anymore on YouTube. It's all about how much of the video people are watching, whether they're commenting, whether they're liking, all the complicated stuff that just takes away from being able to grow on YouTube. I've always wanted to get big on YouTube because I absolutely love making these videos. I love it so much. I'm so proud of the work, even watching it now, and it's amazing. This is probably my best video. And it's the worst performing video I've ever made. And that's so painful to me because of the amount of work it took to make this, and knowing that YouTube has decided that I'm not worth anybody's time. There was a video I came across, I think just a few months ago, and I'm gonna go dig it up now. I came across this, so it was 2 months ago. It was 2 months ago I came across this YouTube channel. And basically, let's see.
Bullshit. Here I am cursing in the first couple of seconds of the video. It's probably gonna nuke the fucking recommendation system, but I don't give a fuck. Here I am. I just wanted to post this video and just talk about how shitty the recommendation system is and how YouTube is basically trying to make it seem like, oh, we're recommending videos of smaller creators, but you go on the fucking homepage and it's just tons of shit that you don't even fucking care about anymore. I'm not really sure what the fuck is going on at the
Yes, so long story short, what this fella is talking about, or rather what he's explaining in this video, what he goes on to explain, is that this very channel, and when I took a look, the channel was no more than 2 weeks old. 2 weeks. Thanks to this video, his whole thing just blew the fuck up. And that pissed me off so much. And not because of this guy, because he's making an amazing point. He's proving it. He's proving that there's just no value for quality on YouTube. There's no fair system on YouTube that allows you to succeed. It's all about what your analytics look like, or something along the lines of that. And it introduced the idea that I didn't want to face. I didn't want to face it because I've been at this channel for 3 years now. I've been doing YouTube for maybe about, I think I started actually doing YouTube back in 2017. So that's almost 10 years now. About 9 years I've been at it. And the thing that I was always dreading with this whole thing was having to start again. I love making videos. I hate doing it for YouTube. And I wish there was a better place for people to make stuff, but there's not. I looked around, and I'm already on multiple platforms as well. I've not really touched them lately. I've just not been doing YouTube for months right now, because not only am I facing the fact that I'm back at square one with this whole YouTube thing, but also a bunch of other just bullshit things in my life have just kicked off. It's mainly just this gnarly streak of bad luck that I've been working with ever since Halloween. It was like just after Halloween, which is a shame because Halloween's like my favorite time of year. But dude, it was just the worst streak of bad luck, man. It's following me to this day. I think I'm cursed. There she is. I just got back into editing this 2 days ago. So I am back at doing YouTube again. The next video, there's a whole plan I've got. It's not going to get uploaded here. I think maybe around April. Let's say the end of April, because I think that's a reasonable enough goal for me. Trying to get the ball rolling again. This video is effectively, I think, 1 minute long. About 1 minute long. Yeah, this is like the bit that I've gotten up to just now. So yeah, and then about there is where it's like, it doesn't really look proper. So yeah, that means I am up to about, if I can see from here, 1 minute and 1.59 seconds. So yeah, I'm back at it and I'm enjoying it again. I was thinking of New Year's resolutions, and last year my target was to hit 1,000 subscribers. I thought it was a a good stretch for me. Naturally didn't hit it, and that would have been okay. It would have been okay if the channel wasn't dead, because it's the biggest that I've ever gotten on YouTube. But it was also driving me nuts having to do the shorts and do the editing and do the second channel and my Twitter page and TikTok, which I gave up on, and I might need to pick that back up again. I don't know. Managing multiple platforms at once and losing my mind doing it. I was starting to hate it. I hated chasing after views. I hated chasing after growth. I hated rechurning my content clips over and over again, trying to maintain a daily upload schedule and eventually just losing everything that made doing YouTube meaningful to me. So as I was saying about New Year's resolutions, this year I think I'm gonna stop chasing after growth. I still want to make it one day, but I'm not gonna do it losing my mind trying to appease to an algorithm, trying to keep up with a trendy idea. Because one thing that I hate doing is talking about popular games. I hate talking about games that I don't like. I hate the idea of having to do what everyone else is doing just in order. Fuck that. Absolutely fuck that. I want to enjoy doing this again. And that's kind of my plan. This year, I think for the most part, I'm just gonna do what I want to do and do it the way I want to do it. I want to get to the end of this year and look back on it with a smile on my face. I want it to feel worthwhile again. And if it means I gotta start from the beginning, if it means it's gonna take longer for me to eventually get there and make this a full-time thing that I do, then so be it. But I'm done. I'm done doing it the way people always tell me to. I hate talking about the numbers on YouTube. Every time I speak to someone about what I do, the first thing people jump to is, oh, how many subscribers have you got? Oh, how big are you? Oh, blah, blah, blah. Oh, you can get so much money off of YouTube, blah, blah, blah. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck. I wish people would ask me more about just the videos I make. Oh, what ideas have you got planned for the next one? Oh, I've got this one thing I'm trying out here. Oh, I think this will be funny. You know what I mean? I think that's probably the toughest thing about doing YouTube is, even though I love doing the videos, I hate talking to people about it because no one really gives a fuck about talking about it with you if you're not a big channel. That's the most common thing that happens. When someone asks me what I do, the most common thing that happens when they ask me, or when I tell them, is, oh, I do YouTube. They just drop off instantly. They go, oh, right, okay. Almost every single time. People tell me how I should do my YouTube. People tell me what I should do next. Oh, do this, do that, do it this way, do it that way. No. No. I want to do it my way. I don't know if there's anything more I really want to say, but yeah, no, I'm gonna be... So a part of what I'm doing to motivate myself to get back into it is I'm going to be recording Hotline Miami. I need to get some clips for that so I can carry on with my editing. But more often, but more importantly, I want to hear what you guys think. So when I'm about ready to upload the next video, that's when I'm going to try and move a lot of my content over to the new channel. But I'm not going to move all of it over because some of these videos I'm not really too proud of. Like, there's good moments in a lot of the videos I don't like. For example, I'm not the biggest fan of like these videos here. Was it the Pizza Tower? The Hi-Fi Rush one is definitely my worst video, but there's still a few good moments in that. And what was it, Little Nightmares, and then let's see, I'm happy with this one, this one, this one. That's one of my favorite ones. That one's alright. And then let's see, that's a good one. That one's alright. Good. Bleh, I don't like that one much. But then boom, 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 boom. These ones I'm so happy with. I think I finally found my definitive style when making these 4. The only thing is, I think I might want to try and make slightly longer videos. Maybe try and push for 10 minutes, maybe 7 minutes or something like that. Because one thing that people have told me is they wish my videos were longer. And I think that's so valid, because even I watch some of my stuff and feel like it just ends so quick, and I want it to go a little longer. But yeah, the plan is I'm going to move all of the I'm going to try and move all the videos over in order, the ones that I want to keep. But I want to hear from you guys if there's any particular video that you really want me to bring over. I mean, it's only a handful of ones I kind of don't really want to do. What I might even do is I'll make a compilation of the best moments of my worst videos. so at least I'm still moving like some good, keeping like pretty much as much good moments from my videos as possible. And then once I have got all of that up to date, and I'll try and do shorts a bit more proper with all of these, and I'm not doing a daily upload basis or anything like that. I'm just going to try and find a good system for it. Then once it's all up, I'll put up my new video, and then everything should be pretty much back to normal. Which videos do you guys want to see? What would you like to see from me going forward, you know? Do you want to see me talk to you guys, make videos like this one here a little bit more often, and keep you guys posted or something? I want to know where my audience is at as well, because that's a big part of what I enjoy about doing YouTube as well. It's hearing from people and getting to talk to folk and discuss stuff with folk. Dude, if you were to look at my comments right now, like pretty much every single comment, if I can go and dig that up. Where's my comments at? Is it community? Yeah, dude, like I don't cease to speak to people, bro. I'm always replying to people. In fact, one thing I saw scroll by, and it's another part of what makes me so proud of my own work. It's when game developers find my work as well. This is one of the main guys behind Shady Night, and they found my video about it, and they were chuffed. They're like, holy fuck, that's amazing. It happened 2 times before as well. It was the Go Mecha Ball guy. I don't know if I can find it now because... Oh, there he is! There he is! The Go Mecha Ball guy found my Go Mecha Ball video, then my fucking... And then the guy who made fucking Takua 64, Super Stupidity, bro. They found my work as well, and I'm there like, that's amazing! That is the coolest feeling that I've ever felt doing YouTube. And I'm so proud of it, and it's why I will never give up. I'll never give up doing videos, man. It's just that I definitely need to reapproach how I do things, because I've been doing it in a way that literally drives me insane. One of my plans was to make a video and line it up with the release of Grand Theft Auto 6. I hate Grand Theft Auto 6. I fucking despise it. And doing my research on it was a fucking headache and a half because of the community around that fucking game as well. I wanted to make a game on Grand Theft Auto... I wanted to make a video on Grand Theft Auto Chinatown Wars and line up the release of that video with Grand Theft Auto 6. thank fuck the game got delayed, because I was stressing out to fuck about deadlines, and I just can't do it anymore. This is not what I'm doing. The main reason I do YouTube was to be my full and honest self. I want to be me on steroids. You know what I mean? That's what it was all about. Ever since the beginning, it was the thing that kept me going. It was the thing that I could look back on and just feel like my life meant something. I don't care if it's not the biggest, fanciest thing ever, you know? It's especially with the most common thing of people just kind of looking down on me a lot of the time, being like, that's not very impressive. So I don't give a shit. I love it, and it gives me purpose. I want that back. And I don't want to turn this into a slop fest where I'm just doing these stupid daily uploads and shit like that. And then a part of what would stress me out, and I don't think I even really ended up doing it much. A thing that I would try and do is try and title my things along the lines of popular stuff, like, you know, using Dishonored as a buzzword for Shady Night, talking about Sonic the Hedgehog. Now, I'm a big Sonic the Hedgehog fan. I hate him, but I'm a big Sonic the Hedgehog fan. But I refuse to be a Sonic the Hedgehog channel. I guess Cult of the Lamb counted as me trying to do something a bit more popular and stuff like that. And then Tomb Raider was like another sort of attempt at that. And the problem with that is when I try to cover things that I think is going to get more attention or whatever, it doesn't. And then that breaks my heart. I don't want to do that anymore. I just want to do the stuff that I want to do, like when I did Go Mecha Ball, like when I did... Shady Night doesn't really count. This kind of counts because that's a game that I really want. I just want to show off games that I love. That's all it is. I find good games and I make you laugh doing it. That's the whole point. That's all it is. And that's what I need to make it again. And I hope going forward from here, that's what I can do. I can just find a good, reliable system of me just doing it now. Yeah, it's exhausting and it's disheartening. Let me know what you guys are thinking, because that's what I'm thinking. This is how I feel right now. I'm at a very low peak in my life right now, just kind of trying to build it all up again. Because that's what life does. Life will knock you down a lot. But as long as you just keep going, man, that's what it's all about. As long as you just keep going, eventually, I like to think that eventually it does just pay off in its own right, you know? But if I'm gonna keep going, I have to do it the way that I like to do it. Otherwise, there's no point. I need to enjoy stuff again. I need to have fun again. And that's where we're at. Yeah, I don't know if there's anything more I want to say here, but yeah, if you want to hop off now, just, yeah, don't forget to leave a dislike and just let me know what you're thinking. Please, just put something in the comments and we'll see where it goes from there. But from now on, yeah, I'm gonna catch some clips here and feel free to stick around for that if you want. Yeah, let me know, and let me know if this is something that you would like. One idea I had was between videos. So I already have a second channel where I scope out games for me to cover on the main channel. I find just the unique stuff, and then I do like big long form just ramble videos on them. It helps. Oh, that's loud. it helps me put together a script for whenever I want to do a video on them. It's just not a guarantee of whether I'm actually going to cover them. But one idea I had was, what if between main videos, I do one long form video of me capturing clips for what I'm covering next, and you also just get to hear my deeper thoughts on the game that I'm covering here. You know what I mean? Would you like to see that more? Would you not? You know what I mean? So right now, I've already done like a long form video on both of the Hotline Miami games, and that's on the second channel. Feel free to go over there if you want to do that. But so I don't know how much I'm really going to be rambling about Hotline Miami. I'm primarily just here to get some cool clips of gameplay so I can use that for the compilation bit in the videos that I do. You know the bit where like I'll have a track playing and it's just a... Is that what you call it? A montage. Just a montage of cool gameplay moments from the game I'm covering. That's the bit I'm at right now, and I also just need gameplay footage for the rest of the video. I might mix up the masks as well, I'm not sure. Not made up my mind yet. I'll need to get into a good flow state as well. Do some of my fancy shit that I can do for Hotline Miami. It shouldn't take me too long to get... I guess my plan is I'll get to the end of the game and then we'll call it there. And I'll just clip any really good moments that I've captured on screen. And I think that's how I'll do recording from now on. Because one thing... So as much as I love doing videos, right? Surprisingly, the part that I enjoy the least is recording gameplay. I never enjoy doing it for some reason. And I think if I'm to guess as to why, I think it's something in my brain that tells me that my game time is supposed to be chill time. And when I'm playing games for work, it doesn't feel right. It doesn't feel right at all. So one solution I have to this is maybe I can kill two birds with one stone. And instead of just recording gameplay footage, I can make a video out of it. Because when I do this sort of stuff for the second channel, I really love doing it. I love voicing everything that I have to say about a computer game. I think it's because when I'm making my main stuff, I can't just make a ramble. I don't like making generic review videos of games where I'm like actually talking about the technicalities of a game. I like to make the videos themselves entertaining. I prefer to sum up the most important things about games and basically make, funny little meme-worthy edits out of the stuff I have to say. So the second channel is more of my playground to be able to do that, to actually voice my deepest and truest opinions on the internet. And that's kind of what I've been doing a lot lately. I've not done it... Oh gosh. Police car going by. Okay, they're gone now. Yeah, the second channel is the playground for me to be able to do that. It's not the most entertaining thing, and that's why the thing that I do with that is I make scripts out of that, and at least I'm getting something out of it. I don't expect people to find me spieling about computer games to be all that, incaptivating. And that's why I put it all in a second channel. I kind of want to keep the types of content that I make sort of separate, so folk don't have to get bogged up in their subscriptions feed about, oh gosh, this guy won't stop uploading stuff that I don't watch. Because that's a part of why I kind of unsubscribe from people on YouTube myself. I don't like when folk that I watch just kind of start uploading junk after junk all the time, but that's the thing. I understand that that's what people sometimes have to do on YouTube. to fucking stand a chance. It's a shame. This platform sucks. It absolutely sucks. Okay, so here's a proper level where I can actually do some fancy stuff. Thanks. Yeah, naturally I cut out all the boring parts of my long form videos, so at least like every moment you're watching is me with something to say. A thing that I want to do with my video style is, because I said earlier that I want to try and make slightly longer videos, like kind of try and target 10-minute long videos. If I can hit 7 minutes, I'm happy. That's basically all I need. But in order to make longer videos, I'm thinking what I would like to do is kind of slow down my video pace a little bit so I can make jokes, give more jokes, more build up, so I can give the audience more time to digest what they're watching. Maybe more like moments of pausing, like for comedic effect and things like that. Because the thing I've always been insecure about with making my videos is I've always been terrified of losing people's interest and folk clicking off the video because because it went 10 seconds without doing something interesting. But I want to kind of delve into that a little bit more and see if I can actually do that but still maintain entertainment value. And that's what I'm gonna have a bit of a go at when editing my Hotline Miami video, because the script is longer than normal. I think the nice thing about making longer videos is I'll get to say more as well. I still want to do this thing that I do with my videos though, because the limitation that I gave to myself was 5 minutes. Whatever I say, whatever points I make, I have to make sure I make them in 5 minutes, so it's easier for folk to watch through the whole thing. And a part of that challenge that I did like, that was very satisfying to pull off well, was when I found clever ways to make a point without actually verbally saying it. I like when I can do that in videos, and I want to be able to still do that. But I think in order to make the videos themselves feel more fulfilling, is I want to make them just a little bit longer. So by the time that conclusion hits, it feels like it gives off that sort of, what would you call it? That subconscious feeling like the build-up was worthwhile, sort of thing. The epic conclusion. Because I always love the outro screens that I make, and they always have such a high... the videos go out with such a bang thanks to them. But sometimes I feel like it comes way too early. Like the video didn't reach the peak of its journey, if that makes sense. And there's some videos where I watch through them. It's strange because all of my videos are roughly the same length, but some of them feel longer than others, and I like the ones when they make me feel like I've been watching for a while. And I don't know how I do that. Every now and again, I'll watch through my stuff to develop an understanding of what I'm doing right and what I'm doing wrong. And I use that to help improve what I do in my videos. I am fucking up this level thanks to this ramble I'm having here, but yeah, I'm always re-watching my stuff to see, especially the ones that feel like I've been watching for longer. And I think, I don't know if I've pinpointed it precisely, but I think the ones where my editing style is fast-paced, it makes the video feel shorter. And I don't like when the videos feel shorter. But meanwhile, the ones where I'm doing less hyperactive editing for them, they feel more fulfilling. They feel longer. And yeah, I think that's how I do it, but I'm still not sure. So that's why a part of what I'm experimenting with my Hotline Miami video is I want to try a slower style of pace, while also maybe extending the video length by just a bit. Like, because like I said, 7 minutes I think will be alright. It's just that I'm curious as to what the process of that is going to be like. How much longer is it going to take to make the video? Can I use simpler editing techniques without losing the wow factor that I try to capture in my videos? And I think I can, because I remember going through a point of making my videos and feeling like I was over editing my work when it takes like so much time to do some of the more complex stuff in a video, and feeling like it would have been fine if I had done it a simpler way. But at the same time, I love when I do something a bit more complex in my editing as well, because I want to get really, really good as an editor. I want to be able to do more fancy things and grow my ability to do that. So it has me thinking right now that what I want to do is find a balance between using simpler effects that allow me to lengthen the video, but also integrating complex stuff in with it at like key moments and things like that. See, that's a good bit right there. I'm gonna clip that even if I don't make it. That was a derpy dog right there. Did you see that? I gotta keep that. I think this could also be a way for me to be able to use more good moments of recording games if I make long form content of me capturing the stuff. Because at least then, like, some of like the coolest moments that I capture don't necessarily have to go to waste if I decide not to use them in a final video, because it happens all the time. Every video I make, there comes these moments while I'm editing, and I'm comparing all of the footage that I've captured, and I have to decide what to hold on, what to include and what to let go of. And some of the stuff is painful to let go of, because I'm like, oh fuck, I can't show this in the game. I can't show this in the video. It's the same for when I have stuff to say about a game as well, and I just... oh man. There's nothing like having to let go of stuff, of good stuff that you had to say or good stuff that you did, because you can't afford to keep it. One thing that people have suggested to me, and I'm still considering it quite heavily to this day, is streaming. And I wouldn't mind trying out a stream of doing something like this, so people can get like a glimpse into like a sort of behind the scenes thing of what it takes to make these videos. Kind of bringing people along for the ride. I think I could do it. It's a part of why I started the second channel as well, because I wanted to get decent at speaking on the go, because I've always scripted what I have to say on the internet, and I've never had any experience with just voicing my thoughts on the fly. half the time I could barely put together a full sentence without absolutely stuttering and stammering through it. But the more that I have practiced my ability to do that, the more I have found that I'm just getting better at being able to express my thoughts and opinions without having to write it down. I always surprise myself whenever I go off on a tangent about something as well, and I'll just go on and on and on with all this interesting stuff that I have to say. And it is sometimes when I listen over it, because I'm thinking to myself, damn, I did not think I would be able to basically lecture about something in a way that's not completely boring, about things that I know about and things that I want to talk about. It's why I love doing the second channel as well. It's been a way for me to discover what I'm like in real life, and also be able to tweak how I behave in real life as well. Because I've also spot like, not nasty, but habits. I've also spot like annoying little habits that I have sometimes. Like, I've still not gotten rid of it right now, but a thing that I tend to do is I'll repeat myself over and over again. Once I make a point, I'll always eventually circle back around to it and make the point again. I've got coping words that I get stuck on. I had a nasty habit of using the word bro a lot. And even now, I'm still a bit bad for it, but I want to try and move away from saying bro all the time. And then when I tried to do that, the next thing I spot is that I didn't just get rid of saying bro, I replaced it with saying man. And it takes an interesting amount of self-restraint to stop yourself from speaking in a way that you don't want to see yourself speak. I'm getting a little bit better at not going and ah about things all the time. There was even a point where I was trying to explore what kind of voice to use of all things, because in my main videos, I always, purposefully, but I always change the kind of voice that I use for comedic purposes, for variety, for like that playing around with voice acting and things like that. I have all kinds of different voices for certain kind of tones that I want to make. And I have been doing that for so long. I've always spoken in different accents, in different ways, in different tones, the whole lot. And I think that kind of made me realize that I don't really know what my natural voice is. And that's what the second channel also helped me do. It helped me find a more natural voice that is pleasant to listen to, that I like to listen to, that I hope my friends like to listen to. Because even when I was hanging out with friends, I would just pick like this voice that I would want to use. And sometimes, especially when I was getting back into social gaming, I don't do it a lot, not even to this day. But whenever I do, I put on a voice. I put on a performative voice. And that's something that I've wanted to stop for the longest time. So I would fluctuate between putting on a performative voice and putting on what I think is my natural voice. And it would always change. One thing that I would do is I would assume that my natural voice would be an unpleasant sounding voice. So I would let myself sound unpleasant. And yeah, that was a painful period. That was a painful period, to say the least. And then I realized, well, no, putting on a natural voice doesn't mean I have to embrace all of the imperfections about my way of talking. It just means I gotta find the voice that I can naturally do all the time, basically. Because when I find myself putting on a voice that's not mine, and putting on an energy that is not mine as well, because I'm not as energetic as I make myself out to be in my videos. It's still like full on my sense of humor and all that kind of stuff. It is still me on steroids, but it's not my real life energy. I'm typically quite a calm person. I like to think that I'm probably 70% calm and 30% energetic, because I do still have my moments where I gotta yell about something. I like when I yell about things. I like when I just go off on a rant about things and just take this moment to passionately express how I feel about something. But I'm not that all the time. I like to think that I am quite a comfy person to be around. And that's what I wanted to develop or identify about myself a little bit more. And that's basically what you're listening to now. This is how I speak in real life. This is my comfortable voice to use on a regular basis. And I like it. I like the voice that I have found for me. And it made it more fun. Because another thing that I would do when hanging out with friends is I would mimic my friends. I would mimic their energy. I would take on their ways of speaking. I would match their vibe without really being an energy of my own. And I'm glad that I managed to move past that a bit, because it was a time when I was kind of jealous of some of my friends for the way that they carry themselves and their ability to do that consistently. Meanwhile, with me and every different person that I hang out with, I always behave in a distinctly different way, rather than being this consistent version of me. And I think it's helped me to also uncover the kind of people that I like to hang out with a bit more than others, and be a little bit more honest about that. And it's also helped me discover a new chemistry that I can share with the people I already know as well. I've realized that I can also bring something of value to when we hang out. I can also take the lead every now and again and have a joke and make a joke about something and stuff like that, rather than always following what everyone else does. And when I think about it, I got all of that from being a video guy, a content creator, if you will. I've been able to build the kind of person that I want to be through being an audience of myself also. Being able to watch myself, be able to critique certain little things that I don't like about myself, and commend certain things that I do like about myself as well. as shit as YouTube has become in terms of a video platform and their business side of it, I still recommend, I would still just recommend people trying out making stuff for YouTube or for a different platform, making videos, because I've tried to avoid recommending doing video work to people just because it feels typical that someone like me would do that. But at the same time, it's true, because making a video can be about anything you want. Making a video can be for absolutely anyone. And I think it's kind of the same thing with computer games as well. Like, not everyone wants to play computer games. That's fine. That's not what I'm getting at. But I think computer games is for more people than people think it is, because they don't understand how vast the platform is. In the same way, people don't seem to realize how vast making videos is. Nothing will ever be for everybody. That's impossible. But at least in terms of my experience of making stuff, watching certain things, and playing computer games, is I've realized just how wide spread, how wide, gosh, this cat is going absolutely nuts. She always goes nuts whenever I'm recording a video. Every single time. Me talking to a microphone sets something off in her. But yeah, you know what I mean? Oh, that was a good throw right there. Right, let's try and actually do this. This is like the hardest level in the game. And this level always takes me the longest to do. And it takes me all the longer when I'm off on a tangent about discovering yourself. I cannot genuinely speak and play a game at the same time. I got that boy brain about me where I can't multitask. One game I've been playing with a similar gameplay process to this is Skate 3. I think something about games that have this style of gameplay where you're perfecting your ability to execute a plan in your mind. It just gets my brain going. And in the same way, I'm trying to optimize a stylish execution of this floor. Skate 3 kind of has me doing the same thing, where I'm always finding spots to do skateboarding in. And I will have a crack at it the first time, and through trial and error, I will try to put together what will make skating a certain area in the game look really good. And then over time, through mistakes and accidental discoveries and things like that, I'll be like, oh wait, no, that's pretty good. I want to be able to do that. So I'll kind of try to repeat it over and over again until I get it right. And then the awesome thing about Skate 3 is it has a video editor where it will record, I think it's like a minute or something like that, a minute of what you did previously. So once you feel like you did a good job at clearing a line, you can pause the game, go into the editor and then make amazing camera angles out of what you did. And I want to make a video out of that. Once I've done Hotline Miami in like April or something like that, I'm hoping... Well, no, I think I'll make it more of a side video because I don't actually want to speak in it. I want to make a Skate 3 video where all it is a compilation of all of the coolest stuff I've done in the game, but also all of the gnarliest mistakes that I've made in the game. And I want it to be... I know precisely the song that I want to use for it as well. If it's copyrighted, I don't care. I want to use it. And I want the theme of the game to be about perseverance and have it be like this metaphor for what... Just this subtle little metaphor of where I've been at in life. And I want it to be kind of heartfelt as well, and simple. So I'm building a catalog of awesome little replays that I've been putting together in Skate 3, because they're surprisingly easy to make as well. And I want there to be like a sort of almost subtle story behind it that more observant people might pick up on. And I think what I can do quite easily is, because basically in the game you're editing anyway with like all the camera angles and stuff like that, so it will definitely give you like a wow factor. Just not in the traditional sense in which I've been doing on YouTube through like Sony Vegas and stuff. Because to put it together, like once I've got all the clips that I'm happy with, all I literally have to do is just cut them together in a satisfying way. And then what I'll do is I will edit my pixelated head over the character's face whenever the face shows up, so at least then there is still just a little bit of that thing that I do where I'm including like my own avatar, my own face over people's heads and all that kind of stuff. There will still be that element. But instead of me explaining anything about Skate 3, I'll just let the replays speak for themselves. So that's one thing I'm gonna try and work on around the time I'm finished with Hotline Miami. And I suspect it won't take all that much work to make as well, so I can do that while I'm working on whatever I want to do next. There's a few games that I'm looking at right now. So I still want to do Grand Theft Auto Chinatown Wars, but I think it will still be worth trying to line that up with around the time that Grand Theft Auto 6 comes out, provided it doesn't get delayed too far in the future, because I still want to like actually cover the game. But there's also Rampage World Tour. That's one of my childhood games that I love to bits. But not only that is a game that will be so much fun to edit, because there's, oh my god, that is one of the most expressive games I've ever played, because it's an arcade game about giant monsters, like they're based off of like King Kong, Godzilla, that sort of thing. And literally all you're doing is just destroying shit, particularly buildings, and it's 2D, but it's so cartoony and so animated. And it's a game that came out in like 1990 something, in the 90s, or maybe it was like the early 2000s, but basically, yeah, no, it's old, it's fucking old. And what surprises me about that game is just how many little details are in the game. Like, all the NPCs have like unique animations, all of the buildings have like unique little animations that play out in the windows and stuff like that. The monsters are expressive and oh, it's brilliant. It's so humorous as well, and there's so many ideas I have regarding like what kind of jokes and like how I can write a script around it and stuff like that. There's so much that I can edit over that gameplay. So expect to see me scout it out on the second channel soon. That's one game that might come up next. Because I'm kind of divided. I was thinking of doing Sonic Mania at some point as well. But the reason I wanted to do Sonic Mania was because I was thinking, how am I going to get people watching the channel? And I'm not too sure if I want to do Sonic Mania anymore for that reason. I don't want views to be the incentive for what I'm doing just now, because what always happens when I'm doing something for views is it puts me in a negative mind state while I'm working on the video, of forcing myself to do it because I'm telling myself, oh, but it could be successful, it could be successful, rather than just doing it for fun. I have to do my videos for fun. So I'm not sure if I'll do Sonic Mania right now. I think one day I'll probably cover it, but I'm not sure. I was thinking of doing Shadow of the Colossus, but once again, that was a views idea. And yeah, as I said, I need a break from chasing views. Because even though Grand Theft Auto Chinatown Wars was a views idea, it's also a game that I've desperately wanted to cover for the longest time. It's one of my favorite games. And I think what would be better, because I'm waiting on an excuse to cover Sonic the Hedgehog again as well, because as much as I don't want to be a Sonic the Hedgehog channel, I do like talking about it. Because there's so much that makes me passionate about Sonic the Hedgehog, but there's also so much that makes me angry about Sonic the Hedgehog, and that's fun to play around with whenever I am doing a video on something. Because take my Tomb Raider video, for example. So that one's paced out slightly differently from all my previous videos. The first half of it is me having an absolute rant about the state of Tomb Raider these days, and it's so fun to do as an introduction segment. I wouldn't make full entire videos about me complaining about stuff, because as I learned very, very, very early in my YouTube career, is that I hate making full videos about stuff that I don't like. It feels like a waste of time. It feels like a waste, because I would much prefer to talk about stuff that I like and bring attention to something like that. I feel like there's more value in shining a spotlight on something that deserves the attention instead of shining a spotlight on something that doesn't. So instead, what I do to sort of compensate for that is I will open up my videos with something that pisses me off, like genuinely just pisses me off about the gaming industry. And then I will segue into a better alternative about what I just complained about. That feels a lot more fulfilling to me. It's a way for me to express some of like the kind of person that I am and the things that I think, and also show off, you know. It feels human. Because I've seen videos as well, because when you look back at like maybe 2016, 2017 and all that, and you had all of these commentary channels kind of highlighting really stupid things that they found on the internet. And they're fun. They're actually still fun to... Who was I rewatching a little while ago? I was rewatching H3H3 and his old commentary videos on just stupid things that he has found on the internet, and he'll make a video out of it. And they're funny, like, they're good. Especially when what you find is particularly absurd. Like, that in of itself is just entertaining. But it's when I see people, especially these days, when you see people, at least in my pocket of the internet, I see people... I see people pointlessly basically show you games that are not worth playing and then explain to you that these games are not worth playing. And it's like, okay, I never knew what this game was in the first place, and yet you're bringing it up to me to say, hey, here's something that's not worth your time. Then why did you show me that in the first place? You know what I mean? Fair enough, like, kind of fair enough if it's like something more mainstream and it's like someone will go off about like how fucked Red Dead Redemption 2 is or something. And I'll be like, yeah, no, that's refreshing to hear, cause you know. Well, I'm not sure if it's refreshing to hear, because every time a big game comes out, there's like the extreme positive side of the community, then the extreme negative side of the community. Like people who are defending the game blindly, and then people who are savagely attacking the game beyond reason. But yeah, when it's something that's like a little more like everyone knows about it and folks like just kind of getting off like their true and honest opinions about that. Okay, yeah, no, sure, I get it. It's the thing that's going on right now. But yeah, when you get some YouTube channels who dig up things that didn't even really need to be dug up just to roast it, it's like, okay. Why would I care? Unless you are particularly entertaining at doing that. Why the fuck did you pick that to talk about? What did these guys do to you? If you're gonna dig stuff up to show people, dig up the stuff that you... Dig up the good stuff that you want to show to people, you know? Papers, Please is a game I've been considering. But that would be a very difficult game to do, because there's not much variety in how the game looks. There's not much to show off other than like that one screen that you always get. And I don't know how I could make an entertaining video to watch out of a game that only gives you one screen to work with. I would have to be a lot more reliant on internet, on, you know, like the videos that I use outside of the game and stuff like that. Internet videos and stuff like that. Oh, that was almost perfect. I'll clip that. Of course, you're not going to see every clip that I capture in this session, because I'm cutting out all of the boring bits and skipping to when I have something interesting to say. So yeah, just let that be known. I don't know how much it matters anyway, but let it be known anyway. I understand why they made the guns as they did, but they definitely changed their minds by the second game and went, let's just make it that a bullet kills them. I definitely prefer Hotline Miami 2's way of doing it. You know what I like better in Hotline Miami 1 though? I like how quick. I like how quick the melee weapons swing. And I also like how quick the executions are as well. Particularly with the baseball bat and the pipe and the golf club. Anything similar. Because with things like the knife and the machetes and like all the other fancy weapons with their own unique animations, that never changed in Hotline Miami 2. But yeah, no, I do definitely prefer that quickery. Of the melee weapons in Hotline Miami 1. Even though it's not nearly as effective as it is in Hotline Miami 2, because the animations for swinging them are a touch longer. And the good thing about that is that you can control them a lot more consistently. People complain about the second game's executions in the wrong ways, though. Yeah, the head bashing executions are longer. But in the game's defense, it's not that quick executions are necessarily gone. It's just that the second game wanted to force the players to play in different ways a lot more than the first game does. It wanted to challenge you in different ways. And a part of those challenges are that for some characters that you play as, the executions are longer. But there are some characters that have lightning fast executions as well, especially depending on which melee weapons you use. I think the balancing act, well, I'm not sure balancing, but I think the dynamic that it would bring to the gameplay is, do you want a melee weapon that's easier to land hits with, or do you want a melee weapon that's not as easy to use, swinging at enemies, but they do faster executions like the knife and things like that? Subtle differences, but differences nonetheless. Some levels would force you to use guns more. Some levels were more ideal with melee weapons. Some scenarios are better one way or the other. There was more variety in Hotline Miami 2, gameplay-wise. And people didn't really understand that. One of my favorite characters to play as these days, or two of my favorite characters that I didn't like in the beginning, was the writer and the soldier. Because the writer had this emphasis on non-lethal gameplay and having to use melee weapons only to knock people out, unless you wanted to like basically rage quit it and start executing them by choice, and then you would be able to use like lethal weapons like guns and knives and things like that. But one thing that I absolutely love about playing as the writer, non-lethally, is how lightning fast his executions are. They're faster than even the first game. And when you combine that with disarming all of the weapons and stuff like that, he's probably got the most ADHD style gameplay out of the entirety of Hotline Miami, and I love it. It's like Batman on crack. And I'm not a fan of Batman. I don't care about like Marvel or DC or anything like that, but that funky little appeal of disarming the situation like a fucking crack kid, man, it kind of became my favorite thing to do in Hotline Miami 2. Once I understood where the appeal of that character is, the second game experiments in all of the best ways. Then going to the soldier, so it's all about what weapon you want to bring with you, because he sticks with one gun that you choose for him. And the first two guns suck to use with, or actually, no. Let me think. So the shotgun is alright. The assault rifle sucks, and the LMG is kind of pointless as well. But where the soldier absolutely peaks is when you're either using the sniper rifle or the flamethrower. Now, you'll probably see me ramble about this all day on the day that I decide to do a clip capturing video on the second game, because I've already done a long form video on Hotline Miami 1 and 2, like the video was like 6 hours long or something like that. But I will do something like this for the second game as well. I'll come back to it. Because oh man, you know what I'm terrified of? I hate the idea that... I hate the idea of once I've covered Hotline Miami 1 and Hotline Miami 2, that's it, I've covered them. And they're games that I always try to reference in my videos as well. And I'll continue to reference them forever and ever wherever I get the chance. But I hate this idea in my mind that I won't be doing a video on Hotline Miami again. I'll probably one day find an excuse to cover the two games again at some point, because they're my favorite games and I don't want to move on from them content-wise. I don't want to. It's a very emotional feeling to be doing a video on Hotline Miami 1, because as I said, I've been waiting to do a video on Hotline Miami ever since I started doing YouTube 9 years ago. 9 years ago. And I have always referenced the games wherever it's fitting to do so ever since. And now that that time is here, and especially at like one of the more the tougher times in my life right now, oh my god, man, you have no idea what that's doing to my heart. Everyone who I've told this to doesn't get it. So I have no one to really understand where my heart's at right now with covering this. No one understands this journey that I've been on. to feel confident in my ability to present this game with some fucking style. And I do wish I was bigger for it. I do wish I had more of an audience to show it off to. But it's okay. It's alright. The idea was I was gonna wait until for thumbnail purposes, I was gonna wait until Hotline Miami 2 was 10 years old. And yeah, now now's kind of the time. It's a little bit past that now, but it's all right because I don't want to wait any longer. I'm committing to it. I wanted it to be this. I always wanted it to be this big climactic thing where I would have an audience go, he's finally doing it, you know what I mean? But it's alright. It's alright. Yeah, that's about how it feels. Oh, my heart. Life is tough like that, man. I always imagined I would be some big, not famous, but like basically a full-time YouTuber at this point when I would cover this game and make it this big thing. It's tough. It's tough. Maybe one thing I can hold on to, though, is that I've still got the second game to do. And that is my favorite game of all time. My #1 game. And I'll give it some time before I cover the second one. I want to cover a few different games and things like that. And then maybe, who knows? Maybe I'll have a bit more of an audience then. And I'll be able to have a bit of that moment when I decide to do the second one. So this is a moment that I really, really, really wanted to capture at some point, because this is... So the bit that's coming up, it's when you beat the boss. I have a bit in the script that needs this bit. So... Actually, now that I think about it, I kind of want to do this with the chicken mask. So instead, I'll just kind of run through this level real quick as the normal one, because I kind of need the character as himself to deliver this properly. One game that I'm also possibly going to do next, it's that close, is Carnivore's Dinosaur Hunter. Specifically a free overhaul of it's like a fan project called Carnivore's Legacy. And that's also just one of my favorite games, man. And I know there's one video idea I have of it where I specifically want to use a specific song during the compilation and stuff. Not because of some like climactic emotional reason, but because I just love the combination idea. and making a script for the game would be so good. So it's another game I'm gonna scope out on the second channel to put together my thoughts on it. Because it's a classic game, like, and I've not seen anyone ever talk about it either. So I want to be one of the guys who highlights this in the spotlight it deserves to have. I think one opportunity in which I will get to talk about Hotline Miami again, even if I've covered both of the games, is there's these two projects. There's these two projects in the work right now. One is Hotline Miami Redux, and it's an overhaul for the first game. The masks are reworked to act more uniquely from one another, and they're really, really good. The gameplay is so impactful, like, it's amazing. Some of the levels have been remixed as well. It's all just been touched up in such a way. And what's the only thing I'm waiting for? The only thing I am waiting for that project, because basically the entire game's being overhauled. I'm just waiting for controller support to come to the game because they're working on it. But once they do, I'm adding it to the list. I'm covering that project. And then there's another one called, let me think. So I don't think it's called Miami Horror anymore, but it's also an overhaul on the Hotline Miami mechanics. It's not Hotline Miami, but it practically is. It's using the same engine. It's got its own unique story going for it. I don't think it's set in Hotline Miami or anything. But yeah, no, it's its own thing, taking on the mechanics of Hotline Miami in its entirety and overhauling them. Yeah, I want to do Dennis. Oh, he gets a club in this one. What the fuck? He's supposed to get a knife, but alright. I remember that, actually. It's because the police officers aren't compatible with knives. So what they do is they give this character a club instead. You know what? That's kind of fitting. That is kind of fitting. I can't believe this game was like one of the main games to kick off the indie scene as well. I'm so proud for that because it's my favorite game, man. And knowing that my favorite game is the one that kicked off what I love about computer games these days, man. It must be responsible for so many games existing as well. Its influence definitely reached the likes of John Wick in that. Its influence was just that crazy. It's probably the game that kicked off the synthwave craze as well. Because there's games before it that did the whole like 1980s aesthetic and all that, like Grand Theft Auto Vice City, and probably others as well, not many others really. But all I know is ever since I discovered Hotline Miami, I just started seeing more and more of the 1980s aesthetic. And now it's like everywhere. Kind of in a bad way, because now it's like when we saw, it's like when that film, Spider-Man, the Spider-Verse film, and it's a fantastic film, actually. I'm not a Marvel guy or anything like that, but that's the one Marvel film that I make an exception for. And the art style was so unique at the time. And it was so good to the point where now everyone decided they had to do it. And now it's gotten old and boring. Which I predicted as well, because it was the same thing that happened with the Pixar look as well. I think it was Fortnite kicked off. And suddenly every game, or maybe Overwatch more to the point. I think it was Overwatch that kicked off the Pixar look. And now every game that goes for the cartoony look decides they have to do it in the Pixar style. And I'm there like, oh, fuck's sake, fucking stop. You know what I mean? People ruin everything. Anytime we get a good thing, it has to be milked beyond its appeal. Because people don't understand that if you want to be good, you've got to do something different. Most things are amazing because we've never seen it before. Not necessarily because of the thing they did itself, but because the thing they did was not common at the time. And it's again why like the AAA space has become so bland, is because every game is trying to be everything and appeal to everyone. Every game has to be the biggest game, the biggest open world game with a polished combat system. Every game's got to be like a Souls-like now. There's so many Souls-like games out there. And people can't seem to come up with something else to do. There was one game that piqued my interest called Samson. It's being made by the Just Cause guys. And it seems to be inspired by Grand Theft Auto 4 and something else. And my impression of it so far is that what they want to do is they want to make an open world where what you do matters to the gameplay a lot more. Or, what is it? The open world is built to be used in the gameplay loop a lot more, which I think is a good idea. And there's two main things that they want to do. Can you guess what they are? It's a combat system and driving. Now, look, okay, look, so if you want to make a combat game, okay, look, all right, but you need to bring something different to it. So I was taking a look at it, because I was kind of optimistic for this one, actually, because I don't mind the idea of getting a good open world game that uses an open world properly. So I was looking at the gameplay for the combat, and the combat's very underwhelming right now. Hopefully they can tweak things up to work a little better. The driving doesn't look very good either. So it leaves the game in a situation right now where it's not really wowing anybody, because it's a very generic idea. But there was one thing I did like about it, and there was, because I don't like brown and grey color schemes typically. There's only certain moments, there's only certain games where I'm fine with it, or even more, that I like to see in certain games. For example, Fallout 3. People have complained about how grimy and dirty that game looks, but that's the point in Fallout 3. The whole vibe of Fallout 3 is surviving in a post-apocalyptic, absolute putrid world. That's the fantasy that it's selling there. So naturally, the way you're going to achieve that is through just a disgusting fucking color scheme. And Samson is a game that's doing that also. It's doing a thing where the fantasy that it is selling is being a criminal in an underground urban decay setting. And I like that. And what's even more impressive to me is that the moment I see a screenshot for the game, I can instantly recognize that that's Samson for some reason. I don't know what it is they're doing specifically that's making me recognize the game, because there's so many games that take on that aesthetic of a grimy, grungy city. But for some reason, Samson stands out to me. I recognize it as soon as I see it. I'm like, oh, that's Samson. I don't know how they did that. And it's a game that I do actually want to see succeed. But right now, I'm just not very impressed with the core gameplay that they've put together. Because the combat is a bit underwhelming. It's a bit typical. There's different ways to do a combat system other than either the Souls-like style of doing it or the Arkham style of doing it, because that's the only two ways that games do combat now. And I think if they were gonna sell their combat system, because the thing that they're trying to capture is they want their combat to feel clumsy and unprofessional in a good way. And I can only imagine if you wanted to do that, I think one way to do it is to almost handle it the way that maybe Grand Theft Auto 5 does it. Not precisely how it does it, but you know how when you're playing Grand Theft Auto 5 and you go up to punch somebody and the weight of punching someone is, like, you can really feel it. It's great. There's no combat system in GTA 5, like no real combat system. But I love that feeling of when you hit the punch button, the character really winds themselves up and puts their whole weight into the punch that they throw. And I think that's something that would suit Samson a lot more than what they've shown us. Because it's too clean looking, it's too quick and thwippy and stuff like that. If they're wanting to go more clumsy, you know what would be great is if they introduced more of a physics system to the combat, where the animations for punching in that were a lot more procedural than, pre-animated and stuff like that. Maybe you would have like a staggering system where like you'll stagger them and they'll like fucking try and catch themselves and like and collide with a wall and stuff like that and trip over things and stuff like that. That's how I think they should handle the combat in Samson. It's just that I don't think they're gonna do that because I can't imagine how much work it would take to reprogram all of that to work that way. But it would be so different. It would be like almost ragdoll combat, which would be so amusing, man. Taking advantage of openings and like using, because they are doing a thing where you're using the environment more to your advantage and stuff. It's just that the way they're doing it feels too much like something I've already seen before in the likes of Sleeping Dogs. and games kind of similar to that. And then there's the driving. So the driving I'm probably a little more optimistic for, because right now the driving looks very cheap. The collisions aren't too great and all that, but I can tell that what they're going for is that, like, you know, like collisions are supposed to be bouncy, and I like that. I like that you're driving a muscle car around, and I think what they should do is introduce more weight to how you drive the car as well. Almost similar to the likes of Grand Theft Auto 4, but maybe, like, you know, tweak it a bit so it's more controllable and stuff. They're like, make it very suspension heavy or something. What a random thing I find myself talking about. Samsung. Why did I start talking about Samsung? I can't remember. I think it was something about combat systems. I want a Star Wars game where using the Force and your lightsaber is a lot less systemic than what we've seen lately. Dude, imagine, I'll ever since I saw this one funny video, where the gag was, I think it was like Anakin Skywalker and Ben doing like training, or Obi-Wan Kenobi and Anakin, like Obi-Wan training Anakin. And there's this funny little sketch where Anakin uses this technique of switching off his lightsaber in combat to throw Obi-Wan off. And it works. And ever since then, it gave me an amazing idea for a Star Wars game, or what if you're playing as a guy with a lightsaber and the Force, and his whole shtick is that he figured out that he can, because apparently it's a thing that's been talked about in Star Wars, where like it's dishonorable to do that, and you can make such a story out of that. Dude, imagine playing a Star Wars guy who does dishonorable combat, but not through a combat system, not through like where you're parrying and blah 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 blah. Do it in a way where instead of locking it, like getting locked in to a combat mode where like you have to dodge and parry and that sort of thing with people, you're using your Jedi powers to absolutely like manipulate the situation. Like maybe you want to gain a high vantage point and then use the Force where you're not seen to like conk someone on the head from a distance, and then maybe use the Force to switch on somebody's lightsaber without them realizing it, and they're like, oh fuck, my lightsaber, and you go in and then you can just chop them in half in one hit. That's another thing I'd love to see, is lightsaber combat where one single hit and it's over. So if you can bypass somebody's block, one hit, that's it, they're done. Because it's a fucking lightsaber, you know what I mean? That's what me and one other friend of mine really wants to see. We want to see a game where you really, really feel like you have a lightsaber. The closest I can think of is The Force Unleashed, but even that game isn't really what we're thinking of, because that's like a hack and slash game with all the traditional hack and slash tropes, except it gives you that unique ability to use the Force and pick people up and like choke them and throw them about, physicsy and all that kind of stuff, which is so fun. But I want to see a game that takes that but also pairs it with the very concept of what a lightsaber is. I don't even care if it's a Star Wars game or not. I want to see someone make a game like that, where you have a lightsaber, and a lightsaber cuts people up in one go. And you have the ability to jump high and use the Force and basically get creative with the tools that you have, rather than engage with a combat system. You know what I mean? Maybe you want to use the lightsaber to cut things. Like maybe there's a wall that you can cut through, or things that you can cut the support of so it will come crashing down and things like that. Something more creative than a combat system. A traditional combat system. And then maybe if you really wanted to, yeah, you could lock arms with an opposing Jedi. And my rambling is getting me stuck on this level, but fuck it. A game where you can lock arms with a Jedi and play it almost the traditional way, sort of. Kind of like Jedi Outcast or Jedi Academy. But it's not the quickest way to do things. The quickest way to get to take people out is to cheat them out and switch your lightsaber off. So like maybe you do that thing where like two lightsabers collide with each other and then you're holding them, you know what I mean, where they're going against each other, and then you decide to switch it off and then they're like, oh fuck, and then you switch it back on and backstab them or something stupid like that. The ability to like really control what your lightsaber can do and what direction you want to like swing from or something like that. I'm fantasizing though. Fantasizing about something irrelevant to this video. I should really get this over with. I wasn't even focusing on finishing the level. Hey yo, I gotta cancel this channel. By the way, I really want a Star Wars game that does this. Oh, this is such a disorganized video. If you want to see more of this sort of thing, yeah, go to the second channel, because I do this all the time on there. Hey yo guys, I'm emotional and sad because I need to move channels and start from square one. Things in my life have been really challenging lately, but by the way, I really want to see a Star Wars game. Oh my god. I'm just gonna clip whatever happened there and be done with it, man. I don't know if any of this was good. But I am running out of time, so I gotta get to the end of this game so I can finally fucking be done with it, bro. So you can play as Biker in Hotline Miami 2 in the custom levels. Like, you know, depending on whether folk decided to make him the playable character or not. And he's not my favorite version of Biker. Like, for a start, he looks awesome. He does. He looks better in the second game than he does here. He looks a little bit cheap in this one, but his gameplay, while very similar, is much slower paced. And it's not bad, it's just, man, if I got to pick between the two gameplay styles, I would pick the first game's version because for a start, he swings his thing like so much faster, like a relentless fucking maniac. He moves faster in this one, which I think makes sense because like he's a melee well, no, he can throw he has a limited number of knives that he can throw, but for the most part he's a melee character. So he kind of needs that speed to compensate for it. And one other thing, although this one's more of a nitpick, I love his animation for throwing things. The way his arm like flips out to the side like that. In the second one, he more like sort of thrusts his arm forward when he throws a knife. And it's fine, it's not bad, it's just like it's a nitpick. If I was to choose, I'd choose this version. And most importantly, the guy has multiple execution animations. He's got the 1, 2, 3. He's got... Come on. No. Stop it. Come on. I'm doing it. He's got the curb stomp. And he also has like the cut neck animation. I'm not going to go out of my way to do it, but he has 3 separate execution animations for one weapon. And that's awesome. I don't care if that makes his finishers inconsistent or whatever, that's just awesome. In the second game, when you're playing as him, he only has the cut neck animation, and even that wouldn't... Having one animation wouldn't even have to be so bad. If they picked a more interesting one, I think they should have went for his 1, 2, 3 execution animation if they had to pick one. What am I doing? Right, okay, let's try that again. And that's especially why I kind of wish you could play through the entire game as this biker, man, because I love playing as this guy. And he only gets 2 real levels. It's like with Jacket in the second game as well. I kind of wish what they did was have him behave precisely the way he does in the first game, where like weapons swing faster and executions are faster as well. I think that would have been a fantastic little middle ground for people who kind of want this specific style of gameplay. Because he still has all of his masks in the second game. Some of them don't do what they did in the first game, which is, it's alright, it doesn't have to be perfect, but yeah, I kind of wish that they did that, because it would have been more unique to Jacket, and it could have been like an interesting way to almost flesh out the sort of storytelling in terms of like how the characters behave and stuff like that. Even though you can't play as Jacket in the second game, it's the level editor once again, but that would have been kind of cool. Like, it reminds me of the Jake mask as well, the Cobra. And what is it? He's got lethal throws, and the lethal throws are so good in the first game because when you throw a weapon at an enemy, as with the Snake Mask, the weapon travels through them, so you can get multiple kills in one if you line up a throw right. And in the second game, the weapon bounces off of them instead. when it kills them. You know, subtle little changes like that I noticed where I was just like, oh, what? What are you doing? Gotta do it the way you did it before. Honestly, I would love it if you could play as Jacket in Bikers levels too. Oh my god. The possibilities. I hope the Redux does something like that. Where you can play as Biker in Jacket's levels and Jacket in Bikers levels. That's my favorite thing in Hotline Miami is the executions. Specifically, those ones. They're so interactive. I'm quite happy with that. I'll clip it. And that's it. Holy fuck, we're done. Only took me God knows how long to do, but yeah. I guess that's pretty much where we end the video, man. So, in conclusion, this channel we're gonna have to leave behind. I'll let y'all know when the next channel is up. Don't worry about missing that. Let me know what you think. If you have any questions, requests, anything, let me know. And dislike the video, because I want to know how good you guys are at listening. And it'll let me know what I'm in for taking this path. I'm hoping it'll just be kind of uplifting to know. It will be uplifting to know that at least a good portion of you are going to be with me on this journey. Because we got to leave this behind, I'm afraid. So yeah. I'm sorry that this is where it's got to go. I wish it never did go that way. It is my own fault for not realizing what advertising the channel in that way was gonna do. So yeah, if you'll probably not hear from this channel until around April, maybe. Hopefully not beyond that. I'll try and aim to get everything set up for April. And yeah, if you want to hear more from me until then, head to the second channel, and that's where you're at least going to see me a bit more often. At least until I get the second channel set up. So yeah, if you've listened this far, oh, thank you very much. I hope things get better from now on. Yeah, it sucks. It sucks. But we'll start again. And this time, hopefully, I think so. I think things will go much better than they have once things just get started again. So yeah. Thanks for sticking with me throughout all of this, and here's hopefully to a hell of a lot more, a hell of a lot better going forward. So oh, you know. Right. Okay. I'm gonna jump off here, and I'm gonna click the button. Take care of yourselves. See ya.